Hi, I'm Darren Crannis. I'm a technical manager here at the ECA, and today I'm sharing with you the exciting news that BS 7671 18th edition Amendment 4 draft for public comment is soon to be released on the 7th of August 2024, and this will run for a 3-month period. We encourage our members to visit the BSI Standard Development Portal, download the draft for public comment, and make comments yourself. And our technical team will be in touch with our members shortly to say how you can get more involved. So, what are the proposed changes? In this brief video, we'll just highlight some of the key areas that our members may wish to look at. Again, view the standard, view the DPC, make your comments, and let us know. These are not all the changes for the Amendment 4 DPC, only some of them. We encourage all our members to download the whole standard and have a look at areas that affects them. With the development of new standards, new definitions are also drafted. These new definitions relate normally to new technologies, such as battery storage. We have some new definitions relating to batteries, monorock batteries. We also have some new definitions for firefighting shaft, PMB, protective neutral bonding, high-risk building to follow the Building Safety Act, and around equipotential bonding. One small change in Part 3 that has a big impact on our members is the introduction of PNB, protective neutral bonding. This is normally found in rural locations or client-owned transformers, and it is a form of TNCS, but it's different from PNB. And we have a brilliant guidance note on this available for our members if you wish to know about PNB earthing. Let's look at Part 4, and that's protection for safety. Some very small changes in this part. First, AFDDs. Apart from aligning the wording with the Building Safety Act, there are no changes for the requirements for AFDDs. Next, we have protected escape routes. Some small changes here to the wording. So we're talking about firefighting shafts or protected stairways. Appendix 13 Part 1 has been completely rewritten to align with approved document B. Some small changes for protection against overload and also a mission for devices for protection against overload have been included. Part 5, selection and erection of equipment. This is where the largest amount of proposed changes are for the draft for public comment. One of those changes is the introduction of a functional bonding conductor. I'm glad to report that's proposed to be the colour pink. Enclosures. A new note has been added to Regulation 521.5.1 to state that cables can pass through separate holes in an enclosure if the load is less than 200 amps. Do you think this is good industry practice? We'd love to hear your feedback. Cables and walls, prescribed zones. So a new table has been introduced to clarify and simplify cables in walls and where they require additional protection by RCD. And I'm sure that's a most welcome change to everyone using the standard, especially in domestic dwellings. An update has been made to the regulation around coordination between low voltage switchgear, assemblies and overload protected devices. It's been completely rewritten to add clarity to this regulation, and it effectively follows the process of how you select cables and protective devices. This also applies to switchgear and overload protection, so that's a much welcome change. There's been an update to firefighter switches to bring this regulation to more modern language and reflects on other emergency uses. Do you welcome this change? A new section has been proposed, Section 545 for Information and Communication Technology. This is brand new and it focuses around functional and equipotential bonding for ICT applications. With the evolution of new technology, especially in the renewable space, Chapter 51 has also been updated to include additional requirements for generator sets, and that includes solar PV and battery storage. Another new chapter is Chapter 57. It's a whole new section on stationary secondary batteries for the purpose of storage and supply of electrical installations. We're talking about battery storage here, so give this a read. And that concludes Part 5. In Part 6 and also Appendix 6, so this is for the inspection and testing and also model forms, some very minor changes, some small updates to the form, mostly because of the requirements, for example, of PNB earthing. But the biggest impact is now the reporting of EICRs. In the draft for public comment, only Code 1 and Code 2s will give a rise to an unsatisfactory report on EICRs. No longer will an FI further investigation lead to an unsatisfactory report. Further investigation and C3 Code 3s, improvement recommended, will now mean a satisfactory report. Now let's look at Part 7, special locations. And there are lots of little changes here, so we're just going to highlight a few of them. The first one is swimming pools and other basins. And in these requirements is included requirements for hot tubs and religious fonts for ceremonial purposes. Conducting locations, so Chapter 706 has had some small updates. And marinas and similar locations now have a new regulation where isolation transformers are used to prevent galvanic current circulating between the hull of the vessel and metallic parts on the shore side. Medical locations has had a brand new update, and this is due to international and European requirements. There's a new certificate proposed for earth bonding bars. If you deal with medical locations, then this is definitely a read for you. Solar PV has had some small updates. Outdoor lighting, section 714. Outdoor lighting has had a welcome proposed update where now only 30 milliamp RCD protection is required if the lighting does not have a minimum impact rating of IK08. This removes the necessity to blanket RCD protection on all lighting circuits. We have a new section, 716, on power over Ethernet. This is a completely new section due to this new technology. And caravans and motor caravans, and a most welcome change, the orange cable you use to plug your caravan in is now allowed. And EV chargers, section 722 has had a small refresh. And that's all the changes in Part 7. Part 8 was introduced in Amendment 2, and now we're joined by Chapter 81 on energy efficiency. This is a brand new chapter. It's only very short, and it signposts you mainly to the approved document for England and Wales and the technical booklets for Northern Ireland. These are just some of the major changes that we think will impact our members. And we encourage you to read the draft for public comment and get involved. The DPC opens on the 7th of August 2024, and it runs for 12 weeks and closes on the 1st of November 2024. You can only access the DPC via the BSI website, and you'll need to register, and we'll pop a link to the website in this video. We ask you to ask your designers, your operatives, your supervisors, your qualifying supervisors, what they think of the proposed changes. And you can feed that back either directly to the ECA or via the BSI website. The ECA are working with our technical groups and committees and will be reviewing DPC comments and making comments against the draft standard. If there's something that affects you and your business, please get in touch. And you can do that a number of ways. And one of them is you can email us at technical@eca.co.uk.